not breaking up. It's the information you need. So one of the things he says is, we just said that one, motivation gets you going, but discipline keeps you growing. And remember, it is not, this is all about personal growth. So it's not about the consistency is going to deal with you. All right. Growth is not an event. People think it's this big one-time event and it's just, I've arrived. But it's not. It is not. He says, if you want to become more disciplined and consistent in your performance, you need to become more disciplined and consistent in your growth. Okay. This is a great start. If you're doing this right here, this is a great start. You're getting this information. I don't expect to have tons of people watching this right now because people don't like to work on themselves. This is an uncomfortable place for some people. All right. They will do everything else and I was one of those people. I feel like if I worked hard doing all these other things, I would be good. But as we're learning, it starts with you first. So he says the first thing is, he said, take some time, always take some time, like in reflection, to consider the following questions about your growth, and the consistency will come in, right? The first one is, do you know what you need to improve? Okay. Do you know what you need to improve? He says, I've already discussed this in some detail. We know in the law of reflection, but you must develop yourself in order to be successful. There's no way around it. Whether it's your business, whether it's you as a parent, whether it's you as a spouse, whether it's you in a PTA club, whether it's you as a friend, you have to develop yourself. There are so many things now that don't bother me that used to bother me. My relationships are better. My business is getting better. My marriage is getting better because I am developing Angel. And when you develop yourself, you stop playing the victim. You stop looking at what they're doing and you reflect back to what you're doing, because they have a choice to be who they're going to be. Whether it's your children, whether it's your whoever, the people you work with, but you have the choice. You have the power from within to be, you have the power to say, I'm not going to accept this. I'm not going to let this bother me. I'm not going to be offended. I'm not. You have that ability. He says, all the time I see people with purpose who are inconsistent in their progress. That used to be me. Can you give me a hand if it is you? Like, you smart, you doing everything everybody telling you to do, and you still not winning. Like, I'm still not winning. That was me. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it the best. That was me. Give me a hand if that was you. Give me a hand if that was you. You are a person who has great purpose, but you're inconsistent. You know you're able. You know you're capable. You're ambitious. You want to do it, but you're inconsistent in your progress. Your progress doesn't show the hard work that you're doing. So he says, then have the ambition to succeed. He said they have the ambition to succeed, and they know and they show up aptitude for their job, yet they do not move forward. Why? Because they think, oh, y'all ready for this one? If Christy was on here with her tea, she'd be drinking right now. Most people feel like they can master their job. You talking to me, Lord, but they don't master themselves. Ooh. Right there. I can master my job, but I can't master myself. You don't want to deal with yourself. You do a job. I can learn what else I need to do. I was at church. We were talking about prayer. And I literally said, okay, I want to be better at praying, but what do I need to do? The pastor told me, and I'm like, but what's the system? I'm trying to put God on the system, y'all. What's the system? And I have to read. I have to study the word. I have to, you know what I'm saying? With my business, I want to just do this. They said, Erica Cole said, do this. Chrissy said, do this. I'm talking about my business. And marriage counseling, when we went through that to be better as a couple, they said, do this. I kept thinking, if you just do everything I said, you'll get better. But the real work was with myself. That's when I got better. Then I could take me and plant me into these systems that other people have, and I could cater it to what works for me. But I'm telling y'all, as I grow me, everything else makes sense. So focus on yourself. He says, you got to get up every morning with determination. It says you have to get up every morning with determination if you're going to go to bed with satisfaction. You got to get up determined. What's on your mind when you wake up? I'm tired. I don't feel like doing this day. Or oh my goodness, I got it. I got the day. This is the first this is the day that the Lord has made. I'm gonna be glad and rejoice and be glad in it. And then I'm going to get going. I'm going to start working. I'm checking emails. I have a time that is dedicated to personal growth every day. He says, E.M. Grace says, the successful person has the habit of doing things failures don't like to do or won't do. All right. And this is, do you know what you're supposed to do? Do you know what you're supposed to do? Okay. Do you know you need to improve? These are questions. Do you know what you need to improve? These are things he's telling you that will help you with your consistency. The consistency is not what you're doing per se physically. It is what you're doing for your growth. This consistency is talking about your growth. So the first one is, he says, do you know what you need to improve? Okay. The successful person has a habit of doing things the failures don't like to do or won't do. There are some people like, I ain't doing that. I used to be one of those people. I could talk about this with so much conviction because I was one of these people. I'm not doing that. This is my business, y'all. This is the same business I'm doing for myself as an entrepreneur. I wouldn't dare do that at the job. I'm working for somebody else, but working for myself and I'm being advised by mentors. I had the audacity to say, I'm not doing that, but I want to win. I want to win though, right? But I'm not going to do that. Okay. I knew I needed some personal growth. I don't know if it's just me, but who else is like, I'm not doing that because it made me uncomfortable. But I did things at my job that made me uncomfortable because I was required to do it to get a paycheck, and I did it. And I did grow. So we have to get disciplined enough to do that for ourselves. Discipline keeps you growing. All right. Do you know how you're supposed to improve? Do you know how you're supposed to improve? This is where many people don't, because you're not reading. You're not surrounding you. And the next chapter is about the lawn environment. So our environment is very important. It definitely is. We'll talk about that next week. But do you know how you're supposed to improve? And he was like, one thing, he says, match your motivation to your personality type. This is big. And I want you guys to just tell me, identify which personality type is yours. Okay. He says there are a dozen types of personality profiles and systems that people use, but he likes to use this one based off the classic personality types that has been taught by Florence Littner. And the first type is phlegmatic. Okay. Phlegmatic. And I ain't put these up here. But if you're this personality type, just put flag. Okay. It's because it's actually spelled PH, but just put flag. This first type of personality, phlegmatic, your strength of this person is they're easygoing and likable. Their weakness is inertia. If you're phlegmatic, if you're phlegmatic, how can you motivate yourself? He says by finding the value of what you need in it. When phlegmatics see the value in doing something, they can become one of the most tenacious, meaning stubborn, of all personality types. They doing it. But you're easygoing, you're likable. You know if you're that person, everybody like you. Everybody like you. You're fun. You know what I'm saying? Not life for the party, but you're fun. You're real easygoing. I'm not easygoing, and I'm not always likable. Can y'all believe? Always like Angel. They don't. They have to get to know me sometimes, like me, because I can be a little standoffish, but it's just and I'm getting better. Some of that was my insecurities of what people think of me. I'm not as much like that now, but I used to be really bad. I just didn't know what to expect. I didn't want them judging me, so I would be standoffish, and then I would hide behind I'm an introvert, which I'm somewhat, but not. I'm finding that out as I grow. I'm finding this out. The next one is the choleric. Okay. So the first one is phlegmatic. The second one is the choleric. And this is the opposite in the personality from phlegmatic. This person's strength and their personality type is they take charge easily and they make decisions quickly. I think Christy's probably a choleric because she takes charge. All right. I can't handle this one. I'm not sure. If you're a choleric, put C. Okay, because the last one's S and an M. So if you're a choleric, put C. And you're that person, you really easily, whether you're in your church, whether you're at work, whether you're at your house, you take charge real quick. And you make decisions quickly. If you have this type of personality, how can you tap into your inner motivation? Remember, motivation gets you going, but discipline will keep you growing. So we're looking at what things will motivate you. Everything don't motivate the same people. Okay, you gotta know that about yourself. So their decision making is this quickly, but the weakness of the choleric is if they're not in charge, they won't participate. And I know a lot of people like that. Okay, they won't participate. That means they're not coachable. All right. So you got to figure a way to that. Okay. That's so they're not very coachable. So if you're in a business and you meet somebody who's a choleric personality, and if they can't be in charge of what you're trying to give them, I'm not going to say cut them off, but pick your battles. Give them what they need for personal growth and let them grow through that thing, because otherwise they're going to want to do what you're supposed to be doing and question you. So be mindful. And I'm saying that because I know I have a lot of my business sisters, side sisters, uplines, all that on here. Think about that. These personality types. Okay, their weaknesses, if they're not in charge, they refuse to participate. How do you motivate them? By focusing on, how did they motivate themselves? By focusing on their choices they can make. Okay, let them set their goals. Let them focus on their goals. And guess who they're going to be in charge of? Themselves. That will motivate. So if you know you're that type of person, that's why this is the hard work. If you're that type of person that is always in charge, I'm good at it, this and that, but you question authority, it's a place for that. Okay. But I'm just saying, if you're that type of person, then you need to check yourself and create your own goals so that you can follow suit and be coachable through that person that's helping you. The third one is sanguine. They're the most fun-loving. That's like the orange in another personality type. They're the most fun-loving. They life of the party. It's not me. Life of the party. But I love being around them because they give me energy. So they are life of the party. Their weakness is they often lack focus because they all over the place. My husband can be that. That's probably why we opposite attracts. He is fun-loving. He gets me. So I don't have nobody that's an S. No one's phlegmatic. No one's good morning. No one's choleric and no one's sanguine. Okay, that's F, that's C, and that's S. Okay, I'm on sanguine now. What you have to do, your weakness is you lack focus. So if you're a sanguine, how do you motivate yourself to grow? You make it a game. You make it fun. Ooh, if I do this, I get to win this. If I get this, like whatever it is in your life, if it's your business, definitely set those goals to make it fun for you. All right. And then the last one is melancholic. The final personality type is melancholic, and they are life's perfectionists. That's me. I was like, oh, that's truly me. Okay. They're life's perfectionists. M for melancholic. These people, they're the perfectionists, and they have their strength is their attention to detail. I can see it all, know it all. You missing that? That's missing. Let's do this. I have foresight. I think God's given me that gift to think of those things other people may not think about, weeks from now, months from now, at the end, like, what is this going to look like? That's that perfectionist in us. And then it says, but the weakness, if you haven't guessed, if you're a perfectionist, is you're afraid to make mistakes because you want to do everything perfect. Okay. You're afraid to do everything perfect. I must say goes. Thank you guys. Thank you. I'm listening. I'm reading her. I must say goes. You have to, by this, a lot of times I was bound by fear because I did care what people thought. I didn't want to mess up. I was my worst critic. And it was hard to make a move if I didn't have everything I thought would make me successful, which is what I saw other people do. It had nothing to do with my success. My success is this part, me growing myself and knowing my only competition is Angel. And truly, like Damika said, go for yourself. Did I meet that? Yes. Did I get that? Oh, I'm good. That's where I'm at now. I don't even watch unless I'm watching it to support my other sisters in my business. I don't watch to compare anymore. I watch to learn and I watch to support. So he says, and I love this, by focusing on joy of learning. This is what you do if you're a perfectionist. Focus on the joy of learning. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm sharing it with other people to add value. He says the joy of learning, details, and potential for developing a level of mastery over the subject matter. I don't have to be in charge, but I want things, cause A-type. You want things the way you want things. Yes, we are our worst critics, and we have to work on our self-talk. We talked about that in the earlier chapter, your self-talk. He says, start with the simple stuff. He says, most of us attempt too much all at once. The secret to building momentum is to start with the small, the simple stuff. All right, the simple things. Most of us, to grow, we need knowledge, experience, and coaching. You're getting the coaching right here. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Christy. We already saying thank you for this idea to bring the coaching to you. I am a coach in this business. So I am coaching you to be better. I am coaching you to check yourself. I am coaching you and teaching you how to take this information and grow yourself. And then you're going to be phenomenal in anything you do. Okay. If you want to gain momentum, improve your motivation, begin setting goals that are worthwhile and highly achievable. Do not start your business and say, I want to make 6 figures, and you're not making $20 a week right now. That's not going to help you. That's going to frustrate you. That is going to make you feel like a failure. Don't do a Facebook Live and watch somebody who has 100. Don't watch somebody who got 20 people. I'm going to tell you that now. You may only have 3. Be thankful. 3 people thought you were valuable enough to watch you. 1 person thought you were valuable enough to watch you. 1 person came and watched your replay, or nobody watched you, but you came on and you showed up for you. And your goal may now be, I'm going to come on and go live. I don't care who's on here. I'm doing something for me. And that's why you set goals that will motivate you. And has nothing to do with anybody else who shows up. My family member didn't come on. No. Scratch all of that. We grow in our mindset. So we're not getting focused on who supports you. You support you. You push you. You pivot. You grow. That's what you do. Don't worry about anybody else. All right. It says small disciplines repeated with consistency every day lead to great achievements and gain slowly over time. A little bit. I've been working on my eating habits and every look. 1 week, 1 pound this week, 2 pounds this week, a half pound this week. But the little pounds are adding up to 10 pounds, then 15 pounds. It adds up. Being consistent. Get up at 5 in the morning. Get up at 6 in the morning. Work out. Time to read. Take some time to pray. It adds up. You start looking at people differently. You start seeing situations differently. You start not being upset because somebody said something or didn't say. It stops bothering you. Okay. It stops because you start changing. All right. So make sure you match your motivation to your personality. All right. Match your motivation to your personality. And then you start with the simple things. Whatever it is you want to achieve for yourself, for your life, start with something small. And if you don't know, get with somebody. Send me a message. Angel, how do I do this? I'm looking book, but I am, right now, y'all in this group, I am building. And so this gives me practice to do what I'm doing, to add value. And then later we'll keep it simple. All right. I'm going to tell you that now. And I am here to help. All right. Small disciplines repeated with consistency every day lead to great achievements, gained slowly over time. All right. And you got to remember that discipline is a muscle. It's a real muscle you got to develop. Naturally, you don't want to be. We want to do whatever. We want to do whatever, but you got to. He said, if you want to grow, don't try to win big. Try to win small. Because somebody dropped that in the comment. Try to win small. It's the small things. Did I get up and reach? And these are your goals. So your wins are your goals. If you're part of a team or group and they set goals, that's great. But still, is that the goal you want to do for yourself? If y'all all have the same purpose, it's your goals. And that's what you got to get your mind to see. It's what you've decided. I take certain things and like, oh yes, I'm participating in this. And I want to make sure I complete it. Okay. I want to make sure I complete it. So try to small. He says where many people go wrong in trying to reach their goals is inconsistency. They're looking for the big hit. They're looking for the big hit, the home run, the magic answer, that suddenly moment that transforms everything. Oh my God, I've reached it. I've achieved everything. This is what I've been praying for my whole life. That doesn't happen. All right. It just doesn't. Not overnight. If you watch anybody or listen to anybody's story who's successful, it's taken them years before they even showed up on the scene. I was watching thing on Bernie Mac and how people knew about him way before he ever hit Def Comedy Jam. But he didn't stop. He kept hitting all these small clubs and places and showing up. He just kept going. And I found it amazing that we see him like, oh, he just came on the scene in his 40s or something. He'd been on the scene. So, take time. And that's why your goals got to be your goals. Because otherwise, if you're following other people and doing what they want, eventually, if they fall off, so do you. Because they weren't your goals in the first place. All right. He was like, the success in most things does not come from something gigantic, stroke of fate, but simple increments of progress. Just progress. Y'all, if you get up and walk from where you sitting at to the next room, that's progress. You get up and move. You got to move. You got to do something. All right. I know a lot of y'all off, so I may go over a little bit over 10:30. So you can stay. If you got to go, you got to go. I get it. But it's so much in this. That's why you got to get the book. Got to get the book. The next one is, he says, is to be patient. This is one of my evaluated myself. I don't know how many people put a thumbs up, hands up if you that person that you doing things and you want to see progress. You're going to see progress. He said, if you're an American, which we are, most of that are on here, maybe I'll reach somebody who's not, but we want things fast. He said, we are a nation of fast food and fast weight loss clinics. We want everything fast. Everything. All right. Have patience. All things are difficult before they become easy. And that's something. Everything's difficult if you've never done it before. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. He says it's going to take a long time, though, sometime, but enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. Oh, my goodness. I love that one. Enjoy this learning, guys, and enjoy sharing with other people, because when you get better, you pass it on to other people, because the people around you will notice the change in you. They will. They're going to notice that you are more patient. They're going to notice that you're setting goals and you're being diligent, and they see you doing the same things every day. Like, oh, she's moving, or every Monday you go live, or every 3 days you're going live. Whatever goals you set for yourself, you set small increments. I'm going to win at this. For some people, it's just showing up, just showing up when it's uncomfortable. All right. Just showing up. He says daily goals are reached by doing things which may be uncomfortable at first, but eventually becomes habits. And habits are important things. Habits turns actions into attitudes, and attitudes into lifestyles. Let me say that again. Daily goals are reached by doing things which may be uncomfortable at first, but eventually they become habits. All right. And habits turns actions into attitudes, and attitudes into lifestyle. I just do this all the time now. I love to read. My bookshelf is full of books back here. Every time Christy does book study, I do that. I'm in another mastermind group, and they have different groups, and they are focused on different things. And I get the book and I start reading it, and I start skimming through it. And I realize now when I'm talking to other people, I'm quoting. Oh my goodness, I'm quoting individuals from the books that I'm reading. Okay, I am literally quoting. I'm always quoting John Maxwell, but I just read one from E.T., his book, You Owe You. Awesome book. But I'm quoting other people. All right, Brene Brown. I'm quoting them. All right. The next one is, he says, in time, you'll discover that all failing really does is teach you something you need to know. So you can regroup and stretch again, and evermore, you're going to learn. This strategy will pay off. This strategy will pay off. All right. You just got to believe in yourself. He said, trust the value I'm telling you, value this process. You got to value it. All right, value it. The next one is, do you know why you want to keep improving? Do you know? I'm not comfortable where I'm at. I get bored. I talked about this earlier. How I was teaching, and after 29 years, walked away, started my business full time. This is year 3, no, going into year 4. And I was like, I want to do something else. So now I'm going back into the school system, I think part time, to get around the different individuals, see if I can take what I'm doing, and, bring it to the school system. I don't know. I don't know what God has for me, but I know I got to start moving. He says our steps order, right? But you got to take action. You have to take action. You can't just sit there and I got big goals. I say big dream is my thing. Dream so big it scares you. Pray about it, work. Watch God work. You got to move though. Okay. You got to move. And you got to have a strong why. All right. You got to have a strong why. This is a question. This is a question of your own motives and your life purpose. All right. You got to know why. We say that all the time in every industry or business I've ever heard. I just think in life, why are you doing what you're doing? If it's not big enough, you're not going to commit to it. You're not going to commit to it. But it says, take this why test. One of the ways to judge whether you have tapped into your is to take this test. A friend of his, Mike Murdoch, calls the why test. All right. Your answers are to follow 7 questions. Will let you know if your why is solid enough to motivate you to consistently grow. All right. Number 1, do you consistently procrastinate on important tasks? I used to. I don't anymore. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate you, honey. Do you consistently procrastinate on important tasks? Remember, this is the why test. All right. Do you require coaxing to do small chores? If someone asks you to do something, or you need to do something, and really chores could be your, you got to do this, you got to do that. Come on, you could do it. If you got to be coaxed to do that, think you can. You ain't even got to answer here. Answer yes or no to yourself. Do you perform duties just to get by? Because I got to do it. Do you constantly talk negative about your work? Do efforts of friends to encourage irritate you instead of inspiring you? Okay. Girl, you could do it. You got so many talent. I know I could do it. I just got to get my head right. I just got to think about that. Think about those people. So it may be you. I used to be irritated because I wasn't ready. Do you start small projects and abandon them? Do you avoid self-improvement opportunities? When I tell y'all, my answer was yes to so many of these about 4 years ago. And this is going to be year 11 with paparazzi. But for the first almost 5 of them, I was this person. I didn't take advantage of self-improvement. I started little projects and abandoned them. I did things just because it was a checklist and I could do it. I did talk negatively about some of the things in the business and myself. And I was irritated when people told me you're better than this. I was. So I can speak to this because this was me. And I can tell you, I didn't show any progress, not the kind of progress I was looking for, not the kind of progress people were telling me you were capable of. I wasn't. I played so small, almost like, don't see me. I don't really want you to see me. And now that is not me. It's not who I am. And it's because I've taken the time to invest in reading, invest in learning from other people, changing my surroundings, looking for mentors, whether they're people I can easily talk to and touch, or people who I watch through social media. Your mentor is your mentor. It's for people who give you information that helps you to grow. Yeah. So he says, if you said yes to many of these questions, you haven't tapped into a strong enough why. And I hadn't, to keep you growing. He had not at all. You have to give yourself more and bigger whys so you can keep wanting to put more effort to grow. Oh, I got a big why, y'all. You're going to see it. Every why ain't meant to tell everybody, but I got a big why. All right. He says, put your dreams to the test. The greater number of reasons you give yourself to grow, the more likely you're going to follow through. Because some people get in the habit of quitting. And once you learn to quit, that becomes a habit. And it's not a good one. It's not a good one. I probably need to make this a two-part. But I'm gonna go through what it says. Has quitting become a habit? Is the next one. People quit. They quit all the time. And he talks about that. And you have to be careful of that. You may not even realize you're doing it, but then you quit on your friends. You quit on your family. You say you're going to do something and you don't show up. Oh, I got a headache. There's tendencies, things you start doing, you don't even realize that you're doing this. Okay. So you're quitting on people and you don't even realize it. You're really quitting on yourself. You miss out on opportunities because you get used to quitting. It's a habit. All right. He says the compound effect is the principle of reaping huge rewards from a series of small choices. So most interesting about the process to me, he says, is that even though results are massive, the steps in the moment don't feel it's significant. It doesn't. These small changes over time don't give you immediate results. Don't give you a big win. No obvious I told you so payoff. So most people feel like, why bother? They quit. Okay. And he talks about you quit eating, right? Because after 2 weeks, the scales still say the same. I quit exercising because after 7 days, I'm still hurting. He said you quit putting into your 401k because you don't see the money compounding and you need it right now. People get in the habit of quitting all the time and they don't even realize it. But what I love is he says, even small right choices over time, they become your victories. That becomes your victory. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. They become victories. He says, do you know when you're supposed to improve? I'm watching the time. I promise I'm not gonna go over 1040. Do you know when you're supposed to improve? All right. He says you'll never change. I love this one. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. What are you doing daily now that you didn't do before? Maybe you stop eating something. Maybe you cut an hour of TV that you were watching at night, and now you read. Like you have to replace bad habits. They don't just go away. So that means developing great habits. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishments. And that bridge must be crossed every day. Not some days, every day. That's the habit part. Crossing that bridge. Think about it. You'll never change your life until you change something you do daily. He says people do not decide their futures. They decide their habits. And your habits decide your future. Think about that one. That would be some tea, but I'm going to drink some water. Because I'm thirsty too. He says, in the end, hard work is really the accumulation of the easy things you didn't do when you should have. If you're struggling with weight, which I was struggling with weight at one time, it was because I didn't do the easy things first, which was eat right. And that accumulated over time. And now you're struggling with trying to lose weight. All right. It's the little things. Yeah. Procrastination is not my friend. I've had to break up with procrastination because we used to be dating tight. Not my friend. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, I could do that. It don't take that long. And then it takes long. And it steals your joy. It steals your joy. Procrastination. So maybe it's time to stop setting goals. Yes. He talks about this. And I'm not going to go into this because I'm on the time. There's goal conscious and there's growth conscious. Okay? The great composer does not set work because he's inspired. He becomes inspired because he's working. And that's what happened to me, y'all. I started doing things for myself and reading and having time to reflect and digest. I talk about Michelle Obama's book all the time, Becoming, because we're constantly becoming somebody amazing, somebody different. And when you hit that goal, you think that's it. Aha. But no, you're becoming somebody else. So that sets you up for the next you. So these are goal conscious and growth conscious. So he's saying stop setting goal conscious goals and start thinking about being growth conscious. Your growth is you. So I'm gonna give you some scenarios. Goal conscious is focusing on destination. Growth conscious is focusing on the journey. Goal conscious motivate you and others. Growth conscious matures you and others. My team growing. I share this with them. They're growing. They're building their teams now. They're growing. The people that has come into my team recently these last couple months, oh my goodness. And the quality of them, they're self-starters, they're go-getters, they're coachable, but they reflect more of who we are now and not who we were trying to convince people to be. So it's amazing. He says you need to be, so goal conscious is seasonal. Growth consciousness is lifelong. Goal conscious challenges you to do something. And then growth conscious, baby, it changes you. You are changed. Goal conscious stops when a goal is reached, and growth conscious keeps you growing beyond the goals. Keeps you growing beyond the goals. Okay. And I'm going to stop here. If you want, and it's plenty more, how to apply this, how to apply the law of consistencies to your life. So what has been said. He says, if you develop the habits of success, you'll make success a habit. Okay. I'm gonna leave you with that. But then there's 3 things talking about the law of applying it to your life. This is why you got to get it. I'm going to do a drawing tomorrow. Because remember, if you come in here and you're watching the replay, drop a number in the comment. Every Monday that I do these, I'm going to draw a number, and that person gets a book. You just got to pay for your shipping for the book. All right. I'm gonna send it. No, maybe not. Because if it's on Amazon Prime, I'm good. I can just send it to you. If I ain't paying for shipping, I ain't going to pass that on to you. But I'm going to, that's my value. I'm going to give you something. You drop your numbers in the comment so that I'll do a drawing and announce who won so you can get the book and do the homework. It's so much more meat to this. I can't even do it justice in the short amount of time that we have. But just know, when you live this law, you will show others the way. And then empower them to learn and live it too. All right. And on this note, thank you guys. Happy Martin Luther King Day. I hope you all have an amazing day. I hope this brought value to you. This is the hard work. But thank y'all. It's a strong core that keep coming in. I am so excited to see what God does in your life. I'm so excited to see your growth. I'm so excited to hear your testimony of how you're going to change and how you're growing after taking these laws and applying it to your life. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Be blessed. Know that you're valuable. Know that you are special. But you got to put in the work to grow. Okay. God made us in his image, meaning we have everything we have inside of us. We have to do the work to get it out. We got to cultivate ourselves. We've been exposed to a lot of negativity in our lives. And remember, we went over how many times you've heard no your whole life. So it's time to rebuild your mindset. And I'm here for it. Chrissy's here for it. The support of everybody on here. Happy Miracle Monday.